Hello and welcome to Lesson 9. Lesson 9 on psychological problems. That is a unit that we're looking at the minute. And more specifically, what we're going to do in today's lesson is Kaij's alcohol abuse in twin study, 1960, the Swede who was Kaij. Before we crack on with this key study, so it's an important lesson to really ensure that you understand, is can I make sure that you do double check, show my homework, making sure that you go to the attached document and make notes on using the information on that as well. I believe on the Kaij lesson that it would probably be better actually to follow my lead, record the narrative that I'm about to deliver. In other words, what was Kaij's aim? What was the study type? What was the method? What was the result, conclusion, and evaluation? In other words, do you think Kaij's study was absolutely watertight? And Kaij is spelled K-A-I-J. Okay, so my pronunciation may not perhaps completely relate to the scholar that you're looking for, the psychologist. So the aim of the study was to see if hereditary factors influence the development of alcohol addiction. Okay, so to see, in other words, whether nature played a role. So the study type, the research was a case study which included questionnaires, interviews of twins and family members, and psychological testing. Information was also gathered from birth records and public registers of alcohol abusers to identify participants for the study. And there was a total of 174 pairs of participants were gathered. Now, 48 of the pairs were identical twins, known as monozygotic twins, and 126 pairs were non-identical twins, known as dizygotic. Okay, so that's monozygotic is identical, dizygotic is non-identical. And all participants were male, born in southern Sweden after 1880. So when you've come to write your evaluation, think carefully about that last particular point. Do you think that's right? Can we universally apply the results of this study? The method, using the information gathered from the methods outlined, the fact that he did questionnaires, psychological studies, etc., birth records. Kaij categorised each twin dependent on their level of alcohol usage. In total, there were 5 categories, ranging from number 5, don't drink, not drinking at all, to number 1, chronic alcoholic. And the results were quite striking. Kaij's results of the study found that 54% of identical twins were simply in the same category. Identical twins, remember, monozygotic, one. So monozygotic twins, that's a staggering 54% were in the same category, compared to 28% of dizygotic twins, non-identical twins. So also, as the level of alcohol usage increased, there was a higher concordance rate between identical twins, with 72% of chronic alcoholic twins being in the same category as their co-twin. So the conclusion was quite straightforward for Kaij. He absolutely did believe that hereditary factors were involved in whether we were perhaps addicted to alcohol or just the usage of alcohol. It basically dictated the use of alcohol. So already you can see that there are some criticisms there with Kaij, and the first being, of course, that all were male. All were done in southern Sweden, and so therefore it becomes quite problematic when trying to apply that universally. Is that going to be the case in other cultures in the world? It does give us quite an overwhelming information, but when we go up to the kind of the higher stages, and that's 72% of monozygotic twins, there was a higher concordance rate. But actually, when you were lower down, 54% is not perhaps significant. So that's something to consider also. Guys, interested on your thoughts. Do you think it was a successful study? Do you think that actually being that nature does play a part when it comes to addiction, or do you lean more towards it being nurture? Good luck.